We are live with another episode of Academy Sports Show. Thank you so much for spending your Monday night with us. We appreciate it oh so very much. It was a big week of sports. We got championship football games out the way, some NBA, a lot of news and notes. Hope you guys enjoyed your sports weekend, your sports week. And we're going to wrap it all up here today on the Academy Sports Show. If you're not familiar with the show, we go live every single Monday around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time talking about your favorite sports topics. We are your sports show's favorite sports show, so make sure you check out with us and make sure you follow me and Joe individually. You see the tags on the bottom. And make sure you check out the show as well, both on Facebook, IG, and the most important one being YouTube. YouTube, you want to find our faces, search for our faces, subscribe to them, and trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. That way you can be a part of the show, which is the best part of the show is the people that listen and comment. Right now we're using StreamYard, which pulls all the comments from everywhere we go live and puts them right in front of us. So that way we can see all your comments and we can comment live with you. And if you're feeling froggy, if you feel like you really got something to say to get off your chest, we can shoot a link and you can come on in with us and speak your piece. All right. So once again, the Academy Sports Show, we appreciate you as always. Follow us on all our modes of social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as well as us individually. And if you have any topics or any articles you want to send us, just DM us. Joel is at jwillow2, and mine is at Dre_on_air. So without further ado, I'm your host, Andre Douglas. Sitting next to me is your host, Joel Williams.
What's good, everybody? It is cold outside in the D. I ain't going to sing the song this week. It's cold. It's snowing. It's a Monday. We just got some inches. We're about to get some more inches. But as always, we welcome you into the Academy Sports Podcast Studios. We got a nice little show for you tonight. This is kind of our tweener show, right? AFC Championship, NFC Championship took place over the weekend. Of course, we're going to give you our thoughts. We're going to talk about the winners and the losers. But the winners part, we're going to save who we think is going to win the next one until next show. But we'll at least talk about how they gotten to this very point. We will also touch on the losers. What do they do next? You know, a lot of drama today, a lot of knee-jerk happening today in the world of sports. A-Rod is done. A-Rod might retire. A-Rod and the Green Bay Packers, who knows what will happen next. A lot of knee-jerk. But we'll give our 2 cents. We'll share our thoughts on that. Talk about what we think the Bills and the Packers need to do to maybe get back to another opportunity next year to reach the mountaintop. Also, in other news, there's things happening in free agency. And don't look now, ladies and gentlemen, but Dre might be a little excited about what's happening in the D. Breaking news this week, Matt Stafford is out. And then today, the Lions hire not a GM, but a special assistant. Someone who can offer their expertise.
The Godfather.
That is, and let Dre share his thoughts on how he thinks that's going to play out. I know what he's hoping for because my team is the benefactor of said special assistant. And so we'll give you our thoughts on that. And as always, we welcome everybody in the chat, man. If you got something to say, Kobe already replied. He's already commenting. I mean, I guess that's supposed to be enough said right there. We're supposed to know what that means when we see the GOAT in the comment section. Brady lovers are coming in the building, as you can see. If you got something to say about it, we want to hear from you. And as always, if you got something we want to talk about, let us know. We'll do that. But those are your 2 topics for today. We look forward to it. And as always, let's get it in. That and much, much more on the Academy Sports Show.
Yeah, like Joel said, if you got anything you want to throw out there, let us know. Throw it in the comments. We'll be happy to oblige you. Like I said, it might be a short show today, but if not, you can extend it by just throwing some topics out there. We can have a whole roundtable discussion. And let's get some more people in here. So make sure you share. Hit that share button whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, and that way we can get some more people, and we can go ahead and fellowship with a lot of people about their favorite sports. But otherwise, we got Some Detroit talk. I hope my Lions fans are in here. Last week we discussed Dan Campbell. We discussed the new GM. So Dan Campbell had an introduction press conference. That was weird.
Very. Very. We're biting off kneecaps
and fighting and resuscitizing and everything. I think Jalen Rose said it best. We don't need resuscitation. We dead already. We dead. We dead as a doorknob. We need to be reinvigorated. Yes, sir. EPR does nothing for us right now. So I get it. Yeah, Kobe. It was a mess. So he is a player. He's a player coach. Not really focused on the X's and O's. He's a locker room guy. He's a rah kind of guy. And I get what they were going for. I get for the mentality shift and change like that. But you can also have, I said this last week, you can also have a mentality shift with somebody who's good at what they do. So I get it. I also don't get it. I hope he's successful. The 6-year contract is also something that scratches my head. It makes me seem like he negotiated knowing that there was going to be a rebuild. So I think he was hired with patience in mind, that his first couple of years were probably going to be a little strenuous, depending on how the quarterback situation went. He still interviewed for the job. I believe they told them that the possibility of Matt Stafford not returning was on the table before he took the job, and he still took the job as well for the GM. And then going into that, like Kobe said, you better have people who knows the X's and O's. Right now, his offensive coordinator now is hired in as Anthony Lynn, the former head coach of the Chargers. I was going to say San Diego. They're not San Diego anymore. LA Chargers.
Los Angeles.
So that offense, prolific, I'm not sure. Justin Herbert did put up great numbers, but I didn't see anything in their scheme that made me think they were transcendent. They just really utilized their talent. They got a top 10, top 15 receiver in Keenan Allen. They got good backs. They had a good rookie quarterback. So it's going to be something to see what Lynn brings here. I don't know what his scheme is. I don't know what his tree is. I don't know where his lineage, coaching lineage comes from. So I'll have to dive in that a little more, but it doesn't seem like that's like a real splash move, you know. But Lynn within itself, you know, another player, coach kind of guy. So I get the vibe that they're trying to go for with their coaching staff. I really want to see who their DC is. What'd you say?
You're doing a good job here, but I don't. You're making this sound really good. I
get the vibe. I don't necessarily agree with the vibe, but I get the vibe. You understand? I get the vibe. So I don't know. And now, breaking news that my friend sent me via text message, and as soon as I opened up, I was like, "Hey, let's go!" The Detroit Lions and Matthew Stafford have agreed to part ways amicably, whatever the word is. And they are both looking for deals for the Lions quarterback. And Matt Stafford will no longer be a Lion as of next season. Your thoughts, sir? There's a lot of head shaking going on.
So sad. I'm happy for Matthew. If I'm gonna call him Matt, because me and him are tight. I'm happy for Matt, because the city of Detroit did him wrong. The city did him wrong. The organization did him wrong. And this is what I'm hoping for. And I know we'll talk about this in a second, but I'm hoping that he ends up somewhere in the division where he can come visit twice a year.
In the division?
I really do hope so.
Wow.
Because I think it'd be nice to see him come be successful here in Detroit. And the NFL gods will find a way to make it happen, but I think that it's been bad here because they never built around him. And so you blame everything on him when it goes wrong, and he's great when it goes right. And that's the nature of the beast. But the ridicule that's been put on him, and what's always amazed me is you could never have anybody better than him. There was just never this appreciation for him here. So I'm happy for him. We'll get to talking about where should he go. I'm very happy for this news, though, and I'm interested to see if the Lions front office makes something out of this. This is their first opportunity.
It is.
Show your fan base that you have an idea of what kind of team you want to be. Because you get to show your fan base something right here by the type of trade that you get for Matthew Stafford. He's not a top-tier guy. We know that he's not going to command a first-round pick.
What the hell he won't?
Yeah, I think that's too much. I wouldn't give up a first-round pick for him. I'd give up a second-rounder for him. 3 or 4 years ago, before said injury prior to like when he was having a great season, I'd probably give up a first-rounder for him. But he's an aged quarterback. He's got 3 years left, maybe.
There's a 40-year-old in the Super Bowl right now.
There's one of those.
Two 40-year-olds just played for the NFC Championship.
One just retired. Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Thank you. So we'll see. But this is your chance. This is your front office's chance to show their fan base we have an idea of what we want to do going forward.
They better get a first-round pick. They better get a first-round pick. Expectations. You said it. I wasn't even thinking that. This is your chance, front office. Martha Firestone Ford's daughter, whatever her name is. This is your chance to make your stamp. New executive. This is your chance. Or screw it up, or show us nothing's changed. Show me same old Lions, or show me something's changed and get something for this man. Right? Actively, he's like 5th in yards. He's like 7th in touchdowns. He is a top 10 quarterback. You need a first-round pick.
They're going to try and get one.
I'm not asking for a king's ransom. I'm not asking for a replacement quarterback. But we need a first-round pick, preferably in this draft.
They're going to try and get one. They will. They'll try and get one. They better. But I think they'll come out with a second round, unless they fleece a team.
You got to. Now, there's got to be some people that's going to overreach, right? So right now, Leonardo already said the Colts. Brandon already said they're trying to get a first round. Listen, first round or bust. First and the second, oh yeah, we with it. But you got to get a first round pick. If
Leonardo, maybe 2 second rounds.
No, I need a first this year.
You're not getting it.
I need a first this year. If you're the Colts, out of all the teams that are on these short lists, you're the most complete team that can make a run. You made the playoffs with Phillip Rivers. We both know how we feel about Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, so happy to see you retired.
If you made it that far with Phillip Rivers and that defense, Stafford is definitely a tier above Phillip Rivers.
2 second rounds.
No, you're trolling.
I'm being analytical.
You're trolling.
I'm not giving you a first round pick for Stafford. I'll give you a second round. I'm with Leonardo. I'll give you 2 second rounders, or I'll give you a second and a third. I'll give you a second this year. Matter of fact, here you go. I'll give you a second this year and a second and a third next year.
No.
Or a second and a fourth next year. Here's what's going to happen. You're either going to
get a fourth for next year? No.
You're either going to get your 2 seconds, or you're going to get a team that has a bunch of picks and they're willing to give away a pick, and then you might get a first out of that.
No. I don't.
Look what Brandon said. Stafford's cheaper than Rivers.
Listen.
I'm not doing it. I'm not giving you a first round for Stafford.
So I was reading an article about all the quarterbacks that have been traded. So in this bracket of age and pedigree, there was one quarterback that was around the same when the Bengals traded Carson Palmer away, right? He's the leader in all their statistics and won a lot of games, went to some playoffs, right? Often injured, I would say more than Matthew Stafford. And when he got traded to the Raiders, They got a first-round pick in that year, and they got a second-round pick in the second year.
I would argue that Carson Palmer at that time, is that who you said?
Carson Palmer, who was near retirement at that time.
No, but at that time when Carson Palmer got traded, Carson Palmer was on fire.
Carson Palmer at that age, which is near the same as Matthew Stafford, had the same stats, most likely than Matthew Stafford, still got great value for a team that needed a quarterback.
He was popping more.
No. He was near retirement. They got him out of retirement just for that.
Stafford's, hey, you can wish, okay? You're a fan. I get it. First round.
I'm just looking at value. I read the article. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Second round. Second round.
You're diminishing. Listen, we don't appreciate his value here, but his trade value, we love it. We don't like him here, but we value him in the trade market. You understand me?
Let that be true. Let that be considered to be spoken like a true Lions fan. So, where's the best destination for him?
Huh?
Best destination.
Best destination on them. Let me catch up on the comments because I was on the other page. Darius said he will command at least a first-round pick to start, likely maybe a second round, not the first. Dre said it's either win or bust. Either be SOL or win this trade. 2-0 for a first round with broken bones in his back. Stafford is even cheaper than Rivers. Colts will be all over him. Stafford is a first round, late fourth or fifth this year. He's a first round guy. He's got to be a first round guy. Short list, right? Colts number one on the board. What'd you say?
You're hoping. That's
yeah, most definitely. In most books, Stafford is a top 10 quarterback. Most people's top 10s. You can't DeAndre Hopkins this. If you D-hop this, it's gonna be bad. Like you're setting a precedent of bad, right? So
hey, that's your call.
You're setting a precedent of bad. So get off on a good foot. Get a first rounder for Stafford. Maybe a player for Stafford. Then go into the draft. Have a great draft class. Get that momentum going, right? So places for Stafford, the Colts are number one on the board. I feel like they're in the position to give up the most, right? They're in the position to give up the most because they're more on the cusp than any other team out there that needs a quarterback. Everybody else, you can throw out some other potential landing spots, but it's got to be the Colts for me.
Well, I mean, I think there's the logical spot is Colts, because it makes they have the everything that makes sense to make a deal like this happen. Right. There's some other spots that you could throw out there that they sound nice, but they probably won't work. They're the Dallases of the world. Going back home, there's
you can't do Dallas because I feel like that town will riot if they don't re-sign Dak.
That was the one I was going to yell out.
Chicago.
That was the one I was going to call out right there. This makes sense to me. Now, I don't know the background. I don't know if Chicago has what it needs or whatever, but here's what I do know. They are a quarterback away from being a playoff team because of their defense. They wasted that defense this year because Matt Nagy and Trubisky were a dumpster fire. If you send a quarterback over there, they run the ball. They had a nice young running back come into the fold this year. You add that defense to it, they're going to be in it every year in the North. Them and the Packers. Minnesota, of course, probably will get back to being competitive, but Chicago is a nice spot. You see him twice a year. He ruins your Thanksgiving every 3 years.
I don't see it. I don't know if they're like they did it before, right? When they needed a quarterback, they went and got Jay Cutler. It didn't work out. But when they needed, I remember when Cutler was on the board, was it almost 10 years ago? They pulled the trigger and got him. I just don't see it. Here's the betline.com odds on Matthew Stafford's next team. 3-1 odds to Indianapolis Colts. 7-2 odds to San Francisco 49ers. If this is a 1-for-1 Garoppolo, I still need a high draft pick. Now, if you're giving me back a quarterback, I can take a second round.
If y'all give up Stafford for Garoppolo, I'm laughing at you. I'm telling you right
now. Denver, 9-2. Will Denver give up a first-round pick? I don't know. Denver has nice young receivers. They got the defense. If it's healthy. Denver giving up that, New England, 5-1 odds. Bill Belichick is not giving up a first-round pick. I can guarantee you that for Matthew Stafford. He didn't want to pay Tom Brady. He's not going to take Matthew Stafford's contract. That ain't going to happen. Washington football team.
That's another one.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense to me. Up-and-coming running back, up-and-coming receiving core, up-and-coming tight end core, great defense, good coach. Makes sense.
They got anything
division? Huh?
They got anything you want?
First-round pick.
They're not giving it up.
I would take the first round. I would take Washington's first-round pick. It'll be a low pick. It'll be in the 20s because they made the playoffs. So not great value, but it's still a first-round pick. And if you're Stafford, I remember when Peyton Manning was looking for a team, and when he chose Denver, I'm like, Denver? Why would he go there? I think it was somebody else that had a lot more assets. But then as it rounded out, it made more sense. I feel like Washington, it don't sound good right away, but then once you evaluate their roster, it makes sense for him. And with that division being so weak, Dak probably not playing next year, Philadelphia's in a mess. You can win the NFC again, being Washington with Stafford. So taking that 20-plus pick at the first round, I'll take that. So you got a 7 pick, a mid-20 pick. Stafford's gone. And then who's on the board after that? So after we finish destinations, we'll figure out replacements. All right, so Leonardo, you're right. So Carolina is at 8-1.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, they got one more year at Teddy B. The Raiders at 10-1. I don't see them moving on from Carr. And the Rams 11-1, but they're not moving on from Goff. So it's a really short list, unfortunately. It's not a lot of suitors. To me, Washington and the Colts make more sense.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, and Washington Colts makes most sense to me. I feel like Chicago is an outlier to me.
All right, let's see. So Brandon tagged me in a video. So let me see what I'm gonna play this video.
Get banned off of YouTube?
Huh?
Are we gonna get YouTube banned for whatever you about to play?
No, I hope not.
Suggestive language.
Hold on, I'm about to. I'm gonna bring it up. Wait, what happened? Oh, here we go.
And again, welcome everybody to the show, man. We appreciate y'all locking in. Appreciate it. If you like the show, make sure you share to get more people in here, more conversations. We just spitballing today. Not a lot in the sports world. So we talking local stuff right now with Stafford. Then we get to the playoffs and talk about the Packers debacle and where the Bills go from here. So make sure you share and follow everything Academy Sports Show. We appreciate you guys as always.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we got here from one of our listeners.
How long is it?
Stafford's never leaving, dude. On behalf of Warm Pride Lions Nation, I'm here to tell you that Stafford is happily living in his lake house in Wayne County right now. This man is our king, and he sits on Detroit's throne. But you want to make deals? You want to come after Stafford? Let the business guys make the deals, dude. But the real business right here, right now. Here's what I want, dude, if you want to come after my king. New Orleans. I want 2 first-rounders. I want 2 second-rounders. And you, New Orleans, I want you, as a city, to admit that jazz music belongs to Detroit now. Just start saying it, New Orleans. Just start walking around being like, oh, jazz music? Oh, yeah, that's Detroit's. That's what we want. Let the business guys handle all the money and stuff, dude. Let them do anything. But I'm telling you right now, it's up to me if Stafford leaves Detroit, dude. I got buddies who work at the airport, and they're in charge of the tires.
Okay, thank you very much. That was a Detroit Lions fan making trade demands for Matthew Stafford. Thank you, Brandon. Oh gosh.
All right, so let's talk about replacements, because you are the king of don't move on unless you got something lined up already. So, what does everybody think? Draft a quarterback or pick up a veteran quarterback? I've read an article about Tyrod coming, because him and his Anthony Lynn connection. Or maybe you can pick somebody up and they'll have a Tannehill resurgence kind of here, So, or there's guys on the board. Trey Lance, Mac Jones in the second round, Justin Fields with the 7th pick. You guys rather draft a quarterback and throw him to the fire, or you rather get a veteran quarterback, or both? So the article that I read earlier, it was Lions have the 2nd pick. You probably have to move up to get BYU Zach Wilson. Justin Fields might still be on the board. Trey Lance will still be on the board from North Dakota State. We only got one game of him. But this is a guy who threw 28 touchdowns and no interceptions while rushing for 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns. Or you can wait to the 2nd round. We got an early 2nd round pick. There's Matt Jones there sitting there, or Florida's Cal Trask. Or you can go veteran. Like I said, you can go Jacoby Brissett, Mitchell Trubisky, Sam Darnold if they part ways, Jameis Winston.
Old man Fitz.
Huh?
Old man Fitz.
Old man Fitz if he wants to come here. So you rather get old timer, or you rather draft? See, I would say if you do Fitz, give him a 2-year deal, or give him a 1-year deal, and you still got to draft a quarterback. You got to do it, right? If you're going for the rebuild, this is the rebuild. Lions fans, we're in a rebuild. Who would have thought, right? We feel like we're in a rebuild every gosh darn year. But
every year.
We are officially in a rebuild. This is the rebuild, right? You can expect them not to give Galladay money. You can expect our defensive veterans to be gone. He said, is Jesus available? That was the comment of the day. Is Jesus available? No, Jesus is not on the board.
Oh man.
Let me say this: with the head coach that Lions got, the thing he was saying, I'm like, did he say that in an interview? So whoever hired him needs to be fired. They said we talked about that. He's a raw locker room guy. But here's the thing: I think those guys are special assistants to the coach. Those guys, exactly what he was, right? Tight ends coach, special assistant. Those are those are those guys. In today's NFL, you are, the more X's and O's you know, the more confidence you give your team when they hit the field. The more capable that they feel because they know that you know what you're doing, right? It's the confidence of knowing that the head of the team knows everything in and out. New Orleans goes on the field because they know Sean Payton knows everything about the football game that's going on right now. He knows when to take Drew Brees out to do a trick play with Jameis Winston. He just drew up that week, right? Dan Campbell goes up to the front of the team on his very first day with a group full of men that he's in charge of. Lost him. Completely lost him. So Yeah, the article that I read that said Stafford would have considered staying if they kept David Bevel, the OC, the interim coach, the guy he was familiar with. They didn't go that route, so he didn't want to stay. I get it, man. Get your your golden years with somebody that can definitely help you progress as a quarterback. What's up, man? Missed you, buddy. So I say draft Justin Fields at 7. Pick up a veteran quarterback to groom him, whether it's Fitzmagic or whoever. Give him a 1 year, give him a 2 year for stability, whatever he's looking for. Get Justin Fields at 7. That's my guy. If Justin Fields does not fit, wait till the second round and let Mac Jones fall to you. But I'm not a huge Mac Jones guy.
I would say the same. So those other things that are being suggested, though, I'm not a Mac Jones guy either. By the way, listen, we saw a 1 year wonder in Joe Burrow, but you knew he was legit 1 year wonder. I'm not sold on Mac Jones like that. I know he waited his turn, and yes, it's Alabama, but this dude had all world receivers and an all world offense. I mean, I think he's just a great product of a system. He's a McElroy to me. They're not going to be legit starters in the NFL, probably backup. Kyle Trask is a second rounder who I like, but I think you have enough choices at the top of this draft to get a quarterback up there at the top and bring in a vet. Definitely, I think that's the route to go. If you're going to really rebuild, if that's what this is, if this is, oh God, I like that. But if this was going to be a rebuild, go ahead and get a quarterback. There is a quarterback that is worthy of a starting position in a couple years in this draft. And to me, Justin Fields is a tough kid. He's a winner. Kid's got an arm. He's a two-way guy. That's the way the NFL's leaning. He's a player. Somebody you can build around.
Yep.
There's my concern. Is this a staff and is this an organization that's going to build around? Or are they going to flounder this situation yet again? But that is the move I would like to see them make, is get a vet, let him come in here, run it. Don't get Tyrod. Tyrod's going to get hurt, and your draft pick's going to be playing. So don't get Tyrod. Poor Tyrod, everywhere he goes, that's what happens. I'm sorry, but that's what happens.
Maybe we need that.
Last you a season. And then Justin Fields is your guy, and you build it from there. That's the way you go. Get some of those draft picks out of your Stafford pick to make your team better. Make some picks this year that show your fan base that you have a vision of what you're trying to build. So far, your coaching hires don't tell me jack. I don't understand how Campbell got this job. I don't understand the OC hire. I don't understand the DC hire. This is give them a chance you right now. What this is. So let's just give them a shot. And when you decide to fix your deal, that's the start of letting me know that y'all don't have plans to be good. Somebody, Daniel, what's his name? Daniel what?
What?
What's your head coach's name now?
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell.
Dude
made him the most secure head coach in the NFL right now. He's got a 6-year deal.
Could you imagine him sitting around in the war room like, so what do we do now? I don't know. I never did this before.
That is disrespectful. Justin Fields is better than Manziel.
No, I think he was talking about Mac Jones.
Oh, okay. Trade Stafford and Galladay to the Jets for a bunch of picks. They'll take it.
They wouldn't do that.
Why wouldn't they get Bieniemy? I don't know. And the rumor about Bieniemy being a jerk, I'm not buying that. You know why? Don't look like he's a jerk in Kansas City.
That's true. I mean, but listen, we both had our questions, right? Is it him or is it Andy Reid?
Right? It looked, last night it looked like him. It looks like the mouth moving behind the mask is more the enemy than it is Andy Reid.
Right, but he's now he's the one that knows. Like Andy Reid took his mind and put it in his, and he knows the rhythm that Andy Reid likes to call plays.
Yeah.
Or you could take that as he's been around the guy for so long, he knows how to call plays, and he can adapt that to another situation. You can take that both ways, right? I don't know. I don't know why not wait on him. He definitely would have been the flashy pick. Probably the most coveted. I thought was the most coveted coordinator in the NFL, but he's been passed over for so long. I'm like, it's got to be a red flag that nobody's talking about, or I don't know.
Who knows?
It's got to be something. Who knows, right?
Hey, in other news, Patricia's heading back to New England.
Going back to daddy.
Ooh.
Anthony Lynn should have got head coach. No. Did you see what Anthony Lynn did in LA? No, thank you.
But Anthony Lynn, though, has been a part of that rebuild. He just couldn't help that team become winners.
Right. He was oblivious to the little things.
Right.
As a team that's rebuilding from dirt, we need somebody that knows the little things. That's a more of a referendum on our head coach currently, but still, like the simple fact that you fired the special teams coordinator and then forgot that you were the special teams coach in a moment that you needed special teams to go out on the field, that got you fired.
Next coach.
You know
Next coach.
Right. They keep going on the radio. He doesn't interview well. I don't think he's passed over. I think he's not giving people an answer until his season's over. He's taking interviews.
Yeah, he's taking interviews.
He took interviews during their bye week. He took interviews before last game. The rule was if you didn't interview during the bye week, you couldn't have a Zoom meeting after that. So, like, he's interviewing for jobs, just people don't want to wait. I guess that's the PC answer. I think some of us may know the other answer, but I don't know.
We'll see. All right, well, hey, this will be fun because, again, this is the moment where we get to find out about the front office.
We're taking out kneecaps from here on out.
What's going on? I think Eric is putting out his own bad news because he wants to take over KC when Reed is gone. That's fair.
Andy Reid will never leave that job. He's Josh McDaniel in it. Kobe. That's what you trying to say? Oh no, that's Stu. He's interviewing, and I think teams like the Lions can't wait. Yeah, they just trying to get rolling. So we'll see.
Not to be able to wait though.
The drama that is the Detroit Lions. Hopefully, this trade happens sooner rather than later. We'll know what our draft prospects are going into the draft, know where our placements are. Hopefully we have 2 first-round picks this year. I don't know. Hopefully. And seeing Stafford in a Colts jersey, seeing him in a 49ers jersey, seeing him in a Panthers, it's going to be weird seeing him in a different jersey. As a Lions fan, I wish him well. I hope both parties get what they want out of this, but just not at our expense.
I wish you well, Matt Stafford, and I hope you come back to Detroit sometime soon.
You suck. You got to get a troll one way or another. Okay, Kobe with the Kanye West. Don't like black people. George Bush don't like black people. All right, so let's go to the games. We had an NFC championship game. We had an AFC championship game. We got 2 teams in the Super Bowl right now. Let's go with the AFC Championship game first. That one, we all kind of figured what was going to happen. Stu, you a week late, bro. You can't talk about the Browns. Talk about them last week.
Do the people want some more? Do the people want some more? Okay, I won't. You're right. Let's come on, stay focused.
Oh, last question. I'm sorry. Last question. John Dorsey and the Lions front office. He made the Browns who they are today. You think he can do that for the Lions?
I hope so. For your sake, I hope so. For your sake. Because not only did he make the Browns, but he made the Chiefs. He made the last two teams that he has had his hand on made the playoffs this year. One is the defending champs. So absolutely, I hope that he does. But he's only a special assistant. So I think it's interesting. Can you imagine the guy you have as your GM comes in with minimal experience, but you got this other guy that's built teams? He's your special assistant, like your special advisor.
Maybe John don't want to be a GM no more. Maybe he just want to come in and be, a
he
guy.
Wants to be a shadow GM.
Yeah, just give you the jewels and dip.
Deep state.
Yeah, he's sick of being fired.
Yeah, so he wants to be in the shadows, but he's really running the team.
He's a mercenary for hire.
Okay. Well, I do think that's a great hire. Again, it looks intelligent. It looks like you guys are seeking out people, or you sought out one person out of all these people that you brought into the building. You did seek out one person that knows what he's doing. I think it's a good hire. I look forward to seeing what it produces. We'll see.
I hope he examines this roster honestly, tells us what we need, keep him through the draft, keep him through training camp, and let's see, what matriculates from there. But I think, unfortunately, if anything's going to hold us back, it's our head coach and our offensive coordinator.
Oh, man. Stu, I appreciate you bringing up them Browns, man. We've given them their props for the last few weeks. All right.
All right. So let's go to the championship games. Let's start in the AFC. So the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Man, the Browns put up more of a fight than the Bills did, but you made a great point when I texted you that the other day.
Yeah, the bottom line was this is the game of styles, right? Like, we know that sometimes in the NFL, especially in the playoffs, matchups are key. And in this game, just like in the other game, the matchup fell one way or the other, and it played into the outcome of the game a lot. The running game from Cleveland is the type of style you needed to stay in the game with Kansas City. You have to dirty the game up. You have to hold the ball, keep them off the field, and then when you get down to the goal line, you have to score. So you can't kick field goals to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You got to score touchdowns. But you can't score fast and give them a possession and let them go score, and then you try to get into a air raid with them because it's not going to work. Right. And so we saw that yesterday. Buffalo starts out, you're up 9-0. We knew that didn't mean anything. We knew when they showed Mahomes on the sideline. He was telling the team, "Hey, we're good. We're good." After the fumble, after the muffed punt, they scored. We're good. You're fine. Doink off the goalpost. You're like 9-0. Okay, it's about to happen, and then boom, it happened. And before you know it, KC's up 14-9. And now they're chasing with field goals. They had opportunities to score touchdowns. You didn't score touchdowns. Coach is not being aggressive. Go for it. It's the Chiefs.
It's the Chiefs.
It's the conference championship. Field goals aren't going to win you anything in this game. And coming into this game, I picked the Chiefs because the Bills didn't have a running game. Not at all. When you can pin back and say, we're just going to rush them the whole night and we don't respect their run, you're a one-dimensional offense, and that's not enough to beat that team. You have to be able to run the ball and keep that game close. Run the ball, get some stops, score touchdowns. Browns were really close last week. The formula was there, but Buffalo didn't have it.
True. Yeah, when you got guys like Chris Jones and Frank Clark on your defensive line, and they don't have to worry about run stopping, and they can just rush the passer the whole game, it's going to be very tough.
Yep.
It reminded me of Golden State, right?
Yep.
Golden State changed the game. Then everybody just tried to score with them and score with them and score with them, and it didn't work. People changed their franchises to try to incorporate more scoring and more threes. Yes, you need to have a passing attack. Like you said, you need to be able to score touchdowns, but you also need to be able to slow the game down.
Right.
You also need to be able to keep them on the sideline. And the run game of the Browns definitely did that the week previous. Bills did not have that. They tried to play Kansas City game in Kansas City, and they got Kansas City. So I really thought that game was going to be closer, but unfortunately, it was not the right game plan. And Buffalo is now at home, thinking, man, we should have did this, we should have did that. Kobe said, best part of that, they went back to muff punt Hardman for a touchdown. The win was pulling him back into the mix. They didn't let Maverick disengage.
That's a Top Gun reference. Yeah, I thought that was you're a little too young for that. No, I thought that was. It makes a good point though, because I thought the same thing. Is like they went to a point where it was almost blatant. They were like, "Oh, okay, you think you caught us? You think it's gonna be like the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game a few weeks ago, where this little freaky stuff's gonna start happening?" They're like, oh, "We'll just give it to Hardeman," and they like literally went to him, like I think 3 or 4 plays in a row.
Yeah,
and ended up scoring a touchdown. And when you know that a team could do that to you, where they could just pick this guy, we're just gonna go to him. And
their fourth best option, fifth best option.
Yeah, it's just. You know what they say on TAT when the building's on fire, what you supposed to do? Get the women and children and get out, because that's it. That's it.
Stu said it. If you can't outmuscle the Chiefs, just line up for the handshake. It's a wrap. They are a once in a generation team. They are stacked. They are loaded, well coached team, and all time great quarterback with all time great weapons and an opportunistic defense. And athletes all over the place.
And they have speed on defense, which I think makes them even scarier. And then there's no defensive scheme that you could play against them. Like you have to come into this game going, they're gonna get theirs, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, who we got tonight? Okay, we got Jordan tonight. Okay, he's gonna get 30, regardless, right?
Right.
We gotta stop the others, right?
Right.
So you come into a game like this and you're like, all right, Tyreek's gonna get 100.
You got to stop the white boy. You got to stop Kelsey.
Right. Kelsey's going to get his. So who are we going to stop, right? They're not going to run the ball. So you got to pick your poison. Cleveland was in that game last week, and you had 2 guys with over 100 yards and receptions. But Cleveland was still in it because they could hold and possess the football. You got to make Kansas City literally have to score every time they touch it because they're not going to touch it that much. Buffalo tried to play cover 2, stay deep, keep everything in front. And all that did for Kansas City was allow him to dink it in front and then let them guys run past everybody.
Yep.
Scary situation.
Yeah, they neutered their defense.
Yes.
They didn't let their athletes roam. Like you said, they tried to keep everything in front of them. Everybody's trying to patent themselves off of that after that Las Vegas loss that they had. Staying in 4 quarters, seeing everything Mahomes do. Mahomes has now evolved past that. He's evolved past that. And now
that game, that was a running game. Jacobs balled that day.
You gotta figure something else out. Yep. So if you take that, you take the Browns, it's definitely run the ball. You have to run the ball, consistently run the ball, make those pass rushers ease up and make them play run defense. And then hopefully, you can outshoot them and then keep the score low. But, yeah, and you definitely have to score touchdowns, not field goals, and that's where Buffalo messed up. So where does Buffalo go from here now, man?
I think every time I think we created our own category on the show called running back, right? Like just running back. But so I think they are in a running back situation with a couple of upgrades. You got to get a running back. I think the next level for that team is the ability to play action. Could you imagine if they could play action the ball?
Oh, man.
With what they have working right now from a quarterback to receiver combo, with a strong offensive line, if they could actually run the football in Buffalo and then go a little play action and not just stand back there and sling it all day, That would be pretty interesting. So I'd like to see him get a running back. On the defensive side of things, just get another player. Just get another baller. Buffalo's defense is hard-nosed. They're going to hit you. They're not scared, and they play really fast. They have safeties that are good. They got good linebackers. I think they probably could use another D lineman that could probably help upgrade. Yep. But that defense is really, really good. So get another stud over there on the D line, but get a running back. And I would also say get another second receiver. Get another second receiver to go with Diggs. I like Beasley in the slot, but get another guy on the other side where you can throw 3 receivers out there and feel really strong about what you can bring to the table. Because teams don't do a good job of doubling Diggs. He gets open. He does a really good job of getting open. Obviously, he was the top receiver, arguably in the league this year. Statistically, he was. So at the end of the day, I think there's another receiver out there. So for the most part, though, that's a running back squad. If their coaching staff stays in place, they got a great relationship between the quarterback and the OC. Your head coach is the visionary of the team. The team plays like their head coach. Stu said Diggs is actually a number 2. I know you would think that because that's how he kind of came to Buffalo. He's ascended now, though. He's number 1.
He's proven to be in that offense. He's proven to be a number 1 receiver.
Whoa, Stu on the OC. No, I disagree. I disagree on the OC. Their OC was one of the best OCs in the game this year. Like for their system, that system, what they were trying to do, he was perfect for it. That's the only thing I disagree with that piece. Their OC should have been in the line for
coaching candidates.
For a coaching candidate, for sure.
Yeah, the way they're constructed, they do everything good. They need to find what they do great.
I was trying to remember his name, Brian Dable.
Yeah, they find out what they do great. I totally agree with you. Run game definitely keeps them consistent. It's this thing about when you find a stud quarterback, you just want to throw them all the time.
Right.
And this league you definitely need a run game to get in. So get your running back and get you an edge rusher. I just went through their free agents. No big names on the free agents. They got a lot of offensive line guys that are coming up, so you definitely got to re-up your offensive line. Murphy comes up, their edge rusher kind of guy. You can let him go. Josh Norman comes up. You can let him go. But other than that, all their core people are coming back. So, yeah, you run it back, get you a running back, and get you an edge rusher, and, you guys are still contending in that AFC East for a while.
They should own the AFC East for the next couple of years.
True story.
They really should. I mean, I know Miami's coming up, but the Bills, to me, are at least 2 years ahead of Miami right now. The Bills sat at number 3 in our Power 5 for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So it's time. It's time we start respecting that team for being a perennial playoff team every year.
Yep. All right, let's go to the NFC. We had a great game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers. Went down to the fourth quarter. Some questionable coaching calls. Some are pointing out that happened with Green Bay. I saw a meme that said Tom Brady throws 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and Jameis Winston was like this. I did the same thing. Early on, it was all Tampa Bay. Later on, Green Bay got back in it, but it didn't go Green Bay's way. Tampa Bay wins, and Tom Brady goes to another Super Bowl. Your reaction watching that game?
Disappointment. One, because I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. Stu, I agree with you on that comment about the Bills, 100%. I'm disappointed even more in the head coaching, though. Like, that was the biggest thing. Is
E2 Bruce?
Yeah, I don't understand it. It took me back to the Stefanski head coach mess up in the Chiefs game. You're down on the 10-yard line or so, 9-yard line, 8-yard line, a little over 2 minutes to go. I know you need 3 timeouts. I know you have 3 timeouts. But if you're going to go out with your best player having the football in his hands. If you don't get that 4th down, they get the ball right there. they go 3 and out because now they're further back. They're not going to take the chance to throw it. You get the ball with no timeouts, but Aaron Rodgers has the ball. And listen, we've seen Aaron Rodgers win games on the last play. Twice, as a matter of fact, against your Lions. So we know what he's capable of. So I'm not blaming Aaron Rodgers. If they had gone for it on 4th down, I would have blamed Aaron Rodgers if it didn't happen. But I'm not blaming Aaron Rodgers for this one. I'm blaming the head coach.
So is the math on this right? So down 8, you kick a field goal. Now down 5.
No, down. No, so they were down 5, right?
Right.
They were down 5. No, they were down 8.
Right.
You kick a field goal.
So if you win for it on 4th down and you didn't get it, you're still within the touchdown.
You're still within the touchdown.
Oh yeah, you should have went for that then.
So regardless, you're with a touchdown. It's the same thing, Stefanski. Whether you get it or not, you need a touchdown to win.
Right.
You go for your touchdown right now.
Right.
Because it is still Tom Brady on the other side. I like Tom Brady with the ball on the 8-yard line after we don't get a touchdown. Then Tom Brady with the ball on the 25-yard line, and he's got room. We're more conservative if they're on the 8.
They're running the ball 3 times.
If they're on the 8. We saw yesterday they didn't run the ball 3 times. They threw it because they felt comfortable.
Yeah. They're going to that deep in territory, no matter how deeper you got, whatever yard you got, right? They run the 3 balls, they punt it. You're at midfield, no time left. Aaron Rodgers has the ball in his hands. That's the position that you want to go out in.
Absolutely.
You want to go out in that position.
Absolutely. That's it. If you're going to go out with the best player having the ball in his hands. I didn't like the decision.
Why didn't Aaron Rodgers run on that 3rd down?
I don't know. Now, he's not as fast as he used to be, so he's not as mobile, but I don't know. He had it. He did have a run. And he had, on one of those players, he had Lazard open as well. He locked in on Devontae Adams, and that was tough to swallow. Leonardo brings up an interesting point.
Oh.
I knew it. I think this is interesting. Let's talk about it, Dre. No. I think this is interesting, sir.
Boy.
Hey, they were really handsy yesterday. I'm not going to validate his statement. I just think we should discuss. They were really handsy yesterday. And so to call the one they called was interesting to me. They were really handsy, though. You don't think anything there?
Was it a flag?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a flag. I don't understand.
Well, there were a few of them on the other side. Sean Bunting plays with his hands constantly.
Listen, that's some bull.
Okay.
They would have rather. I think the league rather wanted A-Rod versus. I would have wanted to see A-Rod versus Mahomes. Brady's my guy, of course, but A-Rod versus Mahomes would have been a little more marketable. Not a lot more marketable, but a little more marketable. Brady versus Mahomes. Definitely a lot more points. I give you that. That's a 45-46 game. Aaron Rodgers made the same play against the Rams. 4th and goal. I'm going for it because Brady is on the sideline. Rodgers could have gotten to the 1. Yeah, they wanted Mahomes and Brady Super Bowl. I'm not going with the day no more. Roger Goodell doesn't like Tom Brady. He went to every playoff game other than Tom Brady's. You saw him in the box at every other game.
He was there last night.
He don't want to be there for Tom Brady. He's there for Patrick Mahomes, his number 1 asset.
He was at the Bucs game yesterday.
He went for Patrick. No. He didn't want to see that. He went there for Aaron Rodgers. He hates Tom Brady, and Tom Brady hates him.
Okay.
You understand me? The league hates Tom Brady. After Deflategate, they don't want him. They don't like each other. I'm not going for this narrative. Y'all are not going to do this to Tom Brady today. He won that game fair and square.
Notice I
Packers
backed out.
lost
I
that
backed
game.
out of this narrative. I'm not even in. I'm just letting it play out. I just want to hear.
The Packers lost that game.
The Packers lost.
Packers lost that game. They had every opportunity. They had every opportunity to win that game, but they didn't.
All right.
Brady threw 3 picks.
Definitely missed. Listen, the Packers are supposed to score on those 3 picks.
They are.
I mean, you think about it. The Packers, the Bucks beat the Saints two weeks ago because of 3 picks. They scored 21 points off those 3 picks. They the Packers have to take advantage of the back-to-back picks and get a touchdown out of that. And defensively, you can't let that touchdown happen right before the end of the first half. That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, Scotty, go get him, Scotty.
That's unacceptable.
I love me some Scotty, dog. That's a cold white boy. I love me some Scotty.
Yeah, that's horrible.
You cannot let that happen.
I thought A-Rod was bringing them back. I thought the play calling got a little stale, but you had some coaching. There's some coaching issues for me throughout that game.
All right, so what's the future of the Packers moving forward? A-Rod forces his way out. He runs it back.
Man, you know what? I don't know. That's becoming a drama every year now. And the Packers haven't made it easy on themselves, right? You go and draft a quarterback. But sometimes the media makes a big deal out of nothing because they went and got Aaron Rodgers when they still had Brett Favre. This is kind of how this organization does it. They're known for putting a quarterback on the bench and letting him sit there for years, and then he goes on to be something really, really good. So I don't know. We'll see. To me, one, they've got to get better at linebacker, and they've got to get better in the secondary. Then, 2, go get another receiver. Why are we talking about this every year? This is starting to become Detroit criminal, where you don't put offensive players around your guy. Like Devontae Adams, yes, but go get another. I know Lazard. I get it. Mark, MVS and Tunyon. Okay, but guys, let's be real. Aaron Rodgers is making them look good.
Sure.
It's not them helping him out. He's making them look good. Oh, he's learning how to trust his receivers. Go get another guy. Draft a guy. Make a move in this draft. There's a couple of studs out there that can play receiver. Go get a speed guy. Go get somebody to help Devontae. Go make it hard on the defense on both sides.
Yeah, you got some free agents coming up too. Jamal Williams, Alan Lazard, Aaron Jones, Kevin King, Corey Lindsey, starting center.
Oh, wow.
They got some free agents coming up.
They got some decisions to make. Yes, Leonardo just said it. Rodgers has been there 17 years and never threw a first-round pick until they picked up a free agent. Like, it's just got to be better. It's got to be better. You got to go out and help him out. You've got running backs. You got to re-sign Aaron Jones. You've been able to keep your offensive line together, and you do a good job of breeding those. Offensive line in Green Bay has been really good for a long time, but they never have a dog linebacker or somebody that can play that linebacker spot, and they always need secondary help. You have Alexander, so you have a shutdown corner that's respected in the league as one of the top 5 to 10 corners in the league. Keep getting help back there. But at the end of the day, can you get this guy another weapon on offense?
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. A better linebacking core definitely helps. A coverage linebacker core. Definitely need a captain in the back of that defense. You need a safety. You need an all-world safety. Like if y'all would have pulled off that Jamal Adams trade, that would have been great. And imagine what this team would have been if you would have got a first-round pick as a receiver. You know what I'm saying? So this team probably would have been way better. I suspect y'all playing Lazard number 2 money. I don't expect y'all. So, hey, Kobe and Stu are two kindred spirits right now. Y'all are trolling on epic levels. But this team has a lot of questions to ask, and I will not be surprised if A-Rod wants out.
I
will
won't
not
be.
be surprised.
Yeah.
If he's another guy, this might slow down the Stafford talk, to be honest with you.
A-Rod to San Francisco.
If A-Rod says he wants out, Matthew Stafford takes a back seat because everybody's going to push in all their chips for A-Rod.
But
And
the only crazy part about that is he's got 3 years left on his deal. The only way out for him really is retirement. He's got 3 years left on his deal. So he would have to take a seat for a year and to void his contract, and then he can get back in. Unless he says, I'm not playing for you guys, and they trade him. And guess how many first round picks he's worth?
All of them. Generational words. Trade scenarios. Don't dismiss the possibility that Aaron Rodgers play elsewhere in 2021. MSNBC.
Yep.
So it's possible, without trying to read this article.
San Francisco.
Costly. The most overlooked fact: the $31 million cap hit.
There's another Detroiter hating on Stafford.
Get rid of him. Nobody wants Stafford here.
Sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I will have to do some more research on if A-Rod could be moved or not. Stafford should have been going. Peace out. A-Rod already said Rodgers wouldn't be welcome to San Francisco.
A lot of people said LeBron wouldn't be welcome in LA too until they start winning football.
Please. Listen, Tom Brady can bring the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back to whatever prowess they had for a short amount. Aaron Rodgers would bring San Francisco a dynasty back again. Do you understand me? With that offensive line, you can literally run any running back behind that, and that defense, get the fudge out of here. You can give away every first-round pick for the next 5 years. Y'all be lucky to have Aaron Rodgers in that team. He's crazy. All right, so we got our Super Bowl matchup. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City running back. They did it. That was their mantra. They ran it back. They made it back to the Super Bowl. Tom Brady being heralded as going back to the Super Bowl once again, this time without Bill Belichick. Let's just talk about these two teams for a minute. Let's talk about Tampa Bay first. Your thoughts on Tampa Bay going into this game, not giving away anything for next week?
Well, they get to get healthy, right? So you get 2 weeks. So any aches and bumps and bruises get to get well. Anybody out, AB, maybe get him back. Make sure your running backs are healthy. Make sure your O-line's healthy. It's going to be all hands on deck for Tampa Bay. First time ever that the home team's going to be playing in their home stadium for a Super Bowl, so that'll be unique. It won't be packed, but there will be fans. NFL did announce that. So it's a chance for them to get healthy. They're going to have to watch film. They're going to have to game plan. Early on, I think defensively they believe they can hang with Kansas City because they have speed and they hit you. They have great coverage linebackers. And they hit you hard. They rally the ball and they hit. So I think it will be interesting to see how they game plan for this game. Oh man. All of a sudden Mahomes goes into a sunken place, huh?
I'm not entertaining that.
Okay. Kobe, we're going to do a little quick segment before we go. We're going to mention some NCAA here in a second. But yeah, that's just quick take on Tampa Bay.
Yeah, definitely get healthy. AB, most definitely. But I love me some Scotty. So you definitely got to mix Scotty in there because him and Brady's rhythm is second to none. Mike Evans, I look forward to this whole receiving core to get healthy. Figure out, it looks like Fournette took over the reins. So it looks like, Fournette is number one and Ronald Jones number two in this offense. Got to run the ball. You got to, get your offensive lineman ready. It's got to be a heavy dose to run the ball. I understand Tom Brady got you there and all this other stuff, but you have to run the ball and let him make the throws when it needs to happen. Defensively, like you said, the best coverage linebackers in the game. Other than that guy in Indianapolis, you got the two best coverage linebackers in the game. So, I look forward to that matchup. And then on the AFC side, we got Kansas City running it back. I mean, they look like a juggernaut. If there was money to bet, most of the world would bet on them. Your thoughts on them moving forward?
It's actually a little bit of the same, right? So, Mahomes had the turf toe. Clyde Edwards-Helaire came back yesterday, but he wasn't himself. I'm sure that takes a little time to get rhythm. So they're going to need this time to get healthy. But for them, I think the scary part about the Chiefs is it's 2 weeks. They have 2 weeks to sit around. Andy Reid gets 2 weeks to sit around and draw up a whole new offense. And that's the scary part. This reminds me of, it's 2 weeks. It's Saban with a week off, right? In a bye week. It's in college. It's Belichick with a bye week in the NFL. There's just certain coaching staffs, extra time to prepare means you're not going to be able to be prepared for them because they're going to do something that you just didn't prepare for. And it's going to look like what you thought you prepared for. Like they're really good at running a play that you saw before. You think you schemed it, but it only looks that way. It's going to actually be something else. And so that's scary about this team. They've got 2 weeks to prepare. I think the biggest thing with them is keeping everybody level-headed, right? So the leaders in that locker room's got to make sure that people don't go into this too confident. Take this serious. The Bucs and it's easy to do if you look across the field and you know that the GOAT is over there. They shouldn't have any problem staying level-headed. And then, you come into this game ready to go, firing on all cylinders.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it the other week, like if you're Patrick Mahomes, you wanted Tom Brady, right? You wanted this matchup. You wanted to go against the GOAT to solidify your GOATness, right? Because that Monday morning after the Super Bowl, everything's going to be, you're the legit best guy in the league right now. There's nobody touching you. There's nobody near you. So if you're Patrick Mahomes, you're doing everything within your possible situation to try to beat Tom Brady in this situation. And to your fact about Andy Reid having 2 weeks, as we both know, you also don't want to take this time to reinvent the wheel, right?
True.
You gotta. Sean McVay said it when he made it to the Super Bowl. You gotta do the things that got you here, right? You gotta trust the things that got you here. You don't want to try to revamp everything and go out with a new game plan. So you got a guy that's you got a once in a generational talent at quarterback, at wide receiver, at tight end. Great offensive line.
Offensive line's good. The third guy's pretty good too. Hardman, and the fourth guy, Pringle, he's pretty fast too.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, and what's the guy that he doesn't even play anymore? Watkins. Yeah, he's still on the bench too. Yep. Yeah.
So you got great defensive leaders. You got, it's just a great team. So you just gotta keep, like you said, keep everybody even keeled. Let them know what the goal is, and I expect this team to come out on all cylinders. They had a week layoff because they were the number one seed into the bye week. Didn't miss a beat. So this week off, I don't expect them to lose a beat again anywhere. So next week we'll dive into more matchups and our predictions. And let's see what we got here. The GOAT still makes mistakes. Who's going to capitalize on the mistakes? That would be your winner. Buffalo, Buffalo was who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. Everybody forgets the second part. I love it. All right, so that's it for the NFL talk today. Kobe brought up the NCAA bubble. Joe, you got something else for us today?
Well, in other news, the Michigan Wolverines men's basketball team is ranked number 4 in the nation. So shout out to the Michigan men's basketball team. Shout out to the women's team. Young lady scored 50. 50, Kenny! 50!
Did.
She put up 50 last week in the game. So big time things are happening right now in Michigan basketball. They're on a COVID break, though. They're on a 14-day delay now due to COVID. But they're ranked number 4 in the nation. right now with a top 5 recruiting class. At one point in time, over the last couple of months, that recruiting class was actually ranked number 1. So shout out to Jawan Howard. And that's really fun to see. Michigan has now become a basketball school, which is interesting in itself. Yeah, the women's team did lose, but she put up 50 though. That's interesting. That most women's games they get to 50 and that's about it. So it's interesting. She put up 50 and they lost. Besides that, in other news, Cleveland, the Cavaliers knock off the Nets 2 games in a row.
Nice.
In a home and home at home, where the new schedule wrinkle this year is home and homes are played in the same arena. Kyrie comes out of the second loss saying both of these losses were humbling. And
Kyrie is unhumbleable.
Yeah. So let it be, ladies and gentlemen. We said it on the show last week. Go back, play the tape.
Hope they burn.
Not believing in the setup of the Brooklyn Nets. Not believing in it at all. The 3 of them, and I think I might have even took it a step further and said they will not.
It ain't no Mike. You said it.
I said it. They will not make the NBA Finals. They will not get out of the East. Just saying.
Young Bull, he definitely made his mark these last 2 games.
He did.
You got a guy over there. So he definitely made his mark. That block on Durant was nasty. I love that. But yeah, the Nets, they're going to be the show this year. Like they're so much in front. Like the Lakers don't even get enough run no more.
Right.
Because the Nets are in front of everything. So it's going to be great to watch them just implode from within. Kyrie is obviously the odd man out in this. He was definitely on a mission to show that he still had it while losing these games. It's definitely not about winning for him. It's about showing the world that he's still Kyrie Irving. KD and Harden seem to kind of check their egos for one another. But yeah, there's a Kyrie problem in Brooklyn. And it don't seem like
third guy.
It doesn't seem like it's gonna go well. So I'm gonna look forward. I'm getting my popcorn ready with T.O. and we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this ship explode, and I'm gonna love every second of it.
Currently, your Eastern Conference standings: Philly sits atop the Eastern Conference at 12-5. Milwaukee second, Boston third, Indianapolis fourth, Brooklyn fifth, Cleveland sixth, Atlanta seventh, New York eighth. In the Western Conference, Clippers and LA are tied at 13-4. LA has the tiebreaker right now. So they're sitting at the 1 seed. Utah third, Portland fourth, Denver, Memphis, Phoenix, and San Antonio round out your top 8.
No Dallas?
Dallas is 9 right now. Golden State is 10.
Well, you definitely expect Portland to take a dip with C.J. McCollum out for a couple months with that foot injury. Dude was on a tear, definitely carrying that team more than Dame. I think he was averaging like 35 points a game. Hate to see it. Guy breaks his foot in the middle of in a hot streak like that. Team doesn't have enough weapons to keep up in the West, so you'll definitely see them fall down the standings within the next month or so.
And don't look now, but the New Orleans Pelicans are 5-10.
Here's the thing, like they still suck. I don't get it. Like this coaching change, Stan Van Gundy was supposed to be, the emergence of Zion. Zion's playing 30 minutes a game. B.I. got his money.
Why did we think that? Who said that?
It was just.
Did anybody see Stan Van Gundy in Detroit? I'm just wondering.
Everybody just thought it was just Zion plays more minutes, they'll get better. But no.
Oh, okay.
It didn't happen. Like they still don't know how to play basketball together.
No.
They've blown as many times as I watched them on ESPN. They've blown so many leads at the end of the fourth quarter. It's ridiculous. So I don't get it. All right, and that's it.
That's it. From the in other news segment of the show.
All right. Well, then we got some local champions, right? West B1A first, AA.
Yeah, congratulations to the West Bloomfield Lakers.
They won their first D1 title.
Division I title over Davidson.
So shout out to all the people who won chips this weekend.
Yeah, a couple of those kids played in the OMYFA. So we have recognized some of them from their younger days. And Michigan alum Ron Bellamy, head coach Ron Bellamy from West Bloomfield. Congratulations on their first state title. Yes, Michigan football, high school football just wrapped up. They stopped and started again. So they just wrapped up their season. And now it's on to trying to avoid COVID in the basketball season.
Good luck. Didn't he get another job, Bellamy? Didn't he go to the Michigan coaching staff or something like that? He left West B, I think.
Wait, after winning the state title, that just happened?
Yeah, I think he just got it. I think he just took a job. I think he just took a job with the Wolverines, I think.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Welcome Mike Hart to the Wolverines coaching staff.
That's what's up. Am I wrong on that?
I'm checking right now.
Yeah, Kobe says he's the wide receiver coach.
Did he get the wide receiver coaching job that fast?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Well, congratulations to you, sir. Oh, yeah. Michigan football finalizes its coaching staff. Added former player Ron Bellamy as a receivers coach, while Jay Harbaugh will now coach tight ends and special. Boy, Jay Harbaugh just been bouncing around this coaching staff. It's good thing your last name's Harbaugh.
Nepotism, right?
Yeah.
At his
now Jay Harbaugh will be the coach of the quarterbacks. Way to go, Ron Bellamy. Way to go back to your alma mater. Congratulations to you. Interesting move, considering a lot of people believe, if you follow the local stuff, a lot of people believe that this was the last big year for West Bloomfield's run. Like this Donovan Edwards class was the class that they've kind of been waiting for, and it was a perfect storm, and they thought they were going to win it. They've come close before. This was the class, and they won it, and then he took off. Nice job. All right. That's going to be interesting to see where West Bloomfield goes in the future. That'll be interesting. Congratulations, Coach.
That's what's up. All right. So, like always, we appreciate our sponsors here at Academy Sports Show, one being Mr. Mike Bonds Plumbing. Both licensed and insured, Bonds Plumbing provides top-quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up to code, waterproofing, or daily home services, we suggest you call the man.
Call them at 313-304-7786.
Bonsplumbing.com. We'll give you a map of all the areas that they service, as well as the services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
303-304-7786.
That man right there is the real MVP.
Yeah, they do have a nice stable of players, but it ain't what they've had. they had a load of talent. They had a lot of D1 kids leaving this year, but they have a nice program. It'll be interesting to see where they go. Wow, that was quick.
He's still shocked.
I don't think I've ever seen it that fast. Like, he just won on Saturday.
He must have had it lined up already.
Yeah, and considering the high school delay, too, that might have been something that was already in the works.
That's
and
true.
Then they came back.
That's true.
Nice stuff.
Yeah, it was probably already writing was on the wall, just waiting to see if the league was going to restart up.
Right. Hey, we appreciate everybody joining us tonight, man, in our live feed. As always, we thank you for the comments. You guys have been great. We had a great mix of everything going on tonight. We had people trolling. We had people giving some insight. We had some jokes. We had some movie references. That's just how we like it here on the Academy Sports Show. You could join us every Monday night, 7 o'clock p.m. You can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Academy Sports Show. You can follow us on Facebook at Academy Sports Show. Or you can also look us up individually at JWillow2 on Instagram for me, at Dre_ on there on Instagram for Dre, or at Joel Williams on Facebook, or at Andre Douglas on Facebook. Link up with us. That way you can know when we go live. Make sure you also hit us up on YouTube. Check out the page. Hit the bell so you can subscribe and know when we go live, usually every Monday night around 7 p.m., 7 o'clock hour. You can find us here recapping the past week that was in the sports world, especially the games that took place over the weekend. and any big issues or breaking news that will drop during the hour. So you can always find us here. Or you can check us out if you're missing us live. You can check us out in the podcast world. If you just go on the Purple Podcast app on Apple or on SoundCloud.com. You can also find our past shows. We appreciate you. What's up, Keith? As always, again, we appreciate everybody in the live feed. Whenever you come in, shout us out. Say hello so we know you're there. We'll give you a shout out. We always love to post your comments in our live feed. And as always, if you're feeling froggy and you want to have something to say, all you got to do is raise your hand. We'll shoot you a link, bring you into the show live, and we'll let you say your piece. But as you can see, we've had a great show. We hope you guys join us back here again next week. Dre, anything else?
No, just thank you. Like Joe said, thank you for the crowd participation. We appreciate it. The show is what it is because of you guys. So please just make sure you share. And let's just grow this community even larger so we can have more sports talk amongst ourselves. And then make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're new in here, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. It's usually 7 o'clock on a Monday. Sometimes it may be 7:15 or 7:30. But it's usually 7 o'clock. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you, man. But, hey, Mom. But we appreciate you as always. Also, one last thing. Conor McGregor got knocked out this weekend. Who saw that coming? All right, hey, you said it. You're raising your hand next week. You said it. I don't know if Joe told you, but if it happens, it's in stone. You got to be here now.
You say it, we're gonna hold you to it.
So everybody, please come next week with your predictions in tow. We want details. We need scores. We need MVPs.
Super Bowl talk, baby.
Super Bowl talk next week. I need scores. I need MVPs. I need everything. So come prepared next week. Bring a friend, and I'm good. On behalf of myself, Andre Douglas, Joel Williams.
Hey, man, see y'all next week. Bring it next week. We're going to have a big show, Super Bowl week. Let's get ready. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your sports week. We'll see you then.